Hi, I'm Charles.
And I'm Caroline. We got married in June and now we're sailing around the Atlantic Ocean for the year. Come join us as we document our journey.
In this episode, the crew of Caris, including Mick, Woody, Mike and myself, sailed 2,000 nautical miles across the Atlantic from Bermuda to the Azores. We have quite a bumpy start, but make this up when we have some amazing fishing where we catch some large tuna and a massive wahoo. We have an amazing crossing and even managed to toast the Queen's Platinum Jubilee before arriving safely in Horta. So, it's the 25th of May, 12:30 exactly, and we have just weighed anchor from the wonderful St. George's, Bermuda. Crew of Mick, Woody, Mike and myself. Next stop, Azores. Woody, next 15 days. Oh, quit smoking, sorry man. How about Caris sailing out of St. George's through the town cut?
Mike's already dropped a message in the morning.
Yeah, I'll give us Tuesday. Because there's a log every time it's our like odometer. So every day at 6 we just do the current odometer, and then we'll just work out what it was yesterday and what it is when we finish. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Look at this little boy coming up on the nose. Give it a bit of room, that's all. Slight tide setting outboard of us. It's the morning of day 2. Mike and I are on watch. Pretty calm evening. We've been close haul all night and we continue to be so now. Full Genoa out on one reef in the main. We've just let the fishing rods out, so hopefully we'll have some success today. It is the evening of day 2. We are still close hauled, but this morning we turned due north because the wind was veering a little bit, which meant we're going too far east from south of east, and we spent the entire day going due north on a close haul. Mike has made a very nice dinner.
Thank you.
So it's the afternoon of the 4th day, motor sailing along with 10 knots of wind, just 5.5 knots. And Woody has cooked us some tuna poke, some incredible food. We're very, very appreciative for that. Thanks, Woody. How'd you find it?
Yeah, catching it was nails. I actually can't believe I did it all by myself.
So good.
This morning there's a bone bite, hasn't it?
Silence says it all. So, we caught a monstrous wahoo.
Was it string inward or outward, mate?
Inward, your side, yeah, thanks. So, Woody's just hauled in a big yellowfin tuna. I've got something on the line, I think it's also a tuna.
Go reel it in a bit. That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. So that's a yellowfin tuna, yes?
Reeled in 2 yellowfin tuna.
2 yellowfin tuna in the past 10 minutes, including the reeling.
Something on here. Oh, look.
Amazing, amazing.
carnage on
Hey,
deck.
skipper!
Yeah.
Rum rations all round!
Charnel house.
Valuable food. Yeah. So 2 yellowfin tuna and 1 large wahoo.
Okay, so Woody is pulling in another tuna. We're going to try and tell him that's the fish, mate.
Say hi, Woody. Hello.
That is.
What a moment. Yeah. Nice. Smaller, he says. I mean, huge, still massive. Bye bye. Your lucky day, fella.
Guys, well done. 3 yellowfin and a wahoo. After lunch, we came up on deck and a massive wahoo was on the end of our planer. It had been up there for a good 10-15 minutes, we estimate, because he's an absolute monster. Absolute beautiful guy. Then shortly after, squid lure with skipjack strip bait got taken by 3 decent sized yellowfin tuna. This one, and if you pan down you can see the second one there. A third one took the third line, but obviously we let him go because we have an insane amount of fish now. So guys, thank you so much for recording. Woody caught both tuna and I caught the wahoo. So.
Say hi, Woody. Say hi, Mike.
Well done, boys. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well done, guys.
Thank you very much,
Where's that
skipper.
rum ration, skipper?
Rum ration, yeah. Right. Oh, sorry, Rita. Next one. We've nearly taken half the fillet off. And Woody's going to do the second one. Okay.
That's a piece of show. It's a lot of sea stuff. 4 pounds worth?
Yeah.
I can tell you more.
So here are the fillets, which we've been spending the last half an hour filleting. A good day. The next day, unfortunately, our Watermaker broke. The Clark pump, which is the high pressure pump, just gave way and burst its seams. We tried a couple of times over the next few days to fix it. However, we only had epoxy and super glue, and the pressures were so great that we just couldn't get the system to hold water when it was pressurized. So we had to use our bottled water, which we had in the bilge. I'm pretty glad we always travel with a few 100 litres of bottled water, because in this case we had to go onto our emergency reserves. Okay, so we're going to have some rum rations as a result of being at sea 1 week. So Woody, none for yourself, man.
Not just now, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so we've been at sea exactly a week, so 12:30 we weighed anchor last week, and I make it that we have done 922 miles in a week, which really isn't too shabby. For the mathematicians among us, that's 131 miles a day on average, at an average speed of 5.4 knots. So remember we bracketed 5 to 6 knots, 7th to 9th of June. We're slap bang in the middle of that, which is good. So I think we were slightly minus of what we would normally do in the first few days with light winds. Next few days we're going to be plus, and then who knows what's going to happen the next week. So in summary, we're bang on track, and yeah, here's a little tink tink for you. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Really enjoyed it.
Hello, Woody.
Caught some fish.
Hello, Mike.
Broken our Watermaker, fixing our Watermaker, eating fish. And thanks for the rum. So day 2 of the fix, Woody, what have we done today?
Well,
we learned that it's still bloody heavy. But we've epoxy resined the outside of this cylinder, and hopefully that's where the leak is.
And the inside as well.
And the inside.
So hopefully epoxy resin in the inside and outside will stop this popping out any further. See how flush it is there? You can actually tell there's a slight slant in it. Anyway, get that fixed into here and hopefully job done. So Woody's just switched the Watermaker on and it's running under no pressure, I should add, but it's crucially not leaking, which is excellent, because yesterday, or when it first broke, even when the pressure relief valve, which is this, was fully open, i.e. no pressure in the system, this was absolutely piddling water, and now it's dry. I say dry as bone, it's just not leaking at all, which is excellent. But it's whether or not this and the internal epoxy can withstand 700 psi. So we're going to let it finish curing overnight, etc., before we switch it on tomorrow.
Vessel Ice Grace, this is Yacht Caris, channel 16 over.
Bit of VP going on here.
Caris, hello, we see you off our bow, and we're wondering if it's still okay to pass starboard to starboard, over.
Okay, sir, starboard to starboard, my CP 1.5 miles. I think it's enough.
Yeah, Roger, that's enough, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, bon voyage.
Caris, have a safe watch, out.
So we're just passing a big oil tanker on our starboard side. Woody radioed the captain, or the officer of the watch, to make sure we pass starboard to starboard, which we're now doing.
All of a sudden our picks, our first picks on that horse is here, the early starters on the 8th, looking good.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, Mick was in his cabin furiously trying to rig the odds in his favour. Inputting the data and everything.
No, I've not been doing that. What I've been doing is I've been working on today's run, mate.
Yeah.
You know.
We're having tuna tataki, which Woody has cooked, day 8 in the afternoon with broad reach. One reef in the main, no reefs in the Genoa. Cruising on between 5 and 9 knots on the wave as well.
It never ceases.
We've got the rods back up because we want some fresh tuna and any other fish we can catch. We tried to get the Watermaker to work again, but unfortunately the epoxy just can't hold the pressure, so at least we know what the problem is and we'll hopefully source a replacement.
Champagne only for now.
Champagne only.
No.
You notice over the last day the water has changed colour, so it's gone from that sort of cerulean blue to a more greeny grey, so maybe it's just the weather or the sunlight, but maybe we're progressing far enough across the Atlantic that we're out of the sort of cerulean dark blue into the more green grey. Hey Woody.
Hey.
Just watching a very nice sunset after we just had a very nice dinner cooked by Woody of, what do we have, noodles and chicky, the last of the chicken. Sunset's reflecting nicely on the sails, which are unfortunately flogging, but look at that, what a treat. It's so blood red and orange actually. Morning Woody, how are you doing?
Morning.
It's blowing a bit of a breeze, a bit of a gale. It's around 35 to 39 knots, gusting up just over 40. So we've got the third and final reef in the main, and we felled our Genoa. It's pretty big seas, you probably won't be able to see it. We've got the hydrovane in its high wind position and raked back, so it's not going to cause it any damage. That's working well. And we've got the got this little vertical bimini, or cockpit tent I should say, which is helping take most of the wind and rain out. Unfortunately we have no fresh water to shower with, so Woody has taken the anchor wash. Oh, good spot Woody. Little dolphin here.
Oh, look at
Hey, buddy. They'll go to the bow. Oh, let's feel them. You feel them?
Oh yeah.
The little one. Come on, buddies. They're so little. Very cool.
We're in a massive pod, they're all over the place.
Wow.
I think that's a good omen, isn't it?
Yeah, that's definitely a good sign.
Yes, it is the 4th of June.
What does he do?
The Queen's Jubilee, and we're just looking at some dolphins which have come to join us.
Hundreds of them.
We've got the asymmetric cruising chute up, and we're going at 5-6 knots, 6 to 6.5, with 10 to 12 knots of wind, so pretty happy with that.
Today is medal day.
Ah, Woody!
With us.
Woody gets a medal today. Hold on, Woody, how do you feel like getting your first medal?
I'm pretty worried about that.
Just doing a bit of admin this morning, the boat's a little grabby. Woody! Hey up!
Hey up.
So cleaning the cockpit a bit. Mike's doing a good job cleaning the kitchen down there. The other Mike's doing his laundry up there. And yeah, everything's good. We're hard at work preparing some bunting for the Queen's Jubilee, and Mike...
I've made a pot of masala chai in honour of the Jubilee.
Amazing.
Solid chai. Can we put
Very
whiskey?
nice.
Yeah.
Right, and in honour of the royal family and etc.
Boil half water, half milk. And then as it comes to the milk, it boils really quickly, so you have to watch it doesn't spill over. As it comes to the boil, you can add different types. There are loads of different types of tea masalas, but you can just use, normally it's just a masala and cinnamon.
Wow. Cinnamon.
Nice.
So delicious. So which spices do you use on the boat?
I just use garam masala and honey for this.
And we have some like garam masala. Is that chai tea?
No, I used garam masala spice.
We have that on board?
Yes.
As in like
so,
you curry spice.
Thanks, Caro.
yeah, with honey.
God, that wasn't me
that's
stocking the boat with
So the
that.
chai is
So Woody and I have completed our bunting in the cockpit. I think it looks quite good.
It does look quite good. I'm impressed with that. Now for the crown.
So this afternoon is the Queen's Jubilee, and Woody and team have made the party hats and bunting, and we are having a double rum ration in honour of our sovereign, 70 years on the throne. Congratulations and good health, everyone. To the Queen. God, lovely stuff. Such good bunting, Woody. And Mike has cooked us some epic
5.5
wraps.
sorry, I thought you guys weren't driving.
Really?
No, nobody's done that on this trip.
No. So Woody and I are fixing or soldering the Iridium Go because the tape thing didn't work. We knew it wouldn't, but at least it was holding for a bit, so we decided to keep it. But now we're going to use the iron to make it permanent. So Woody and I have just soldered the Iridium Go, and as you might be able to see, it's charging again. So we managed to connect the charging socket back onto the motherboard, which is very good. Thanks, Woody. That was it's quite difficult, wasn't it?
Good teamwork.
Yeah, it was quite difficult.
Soldering is nails. Where's this guy?
In the Narnia cupboard. Thanks, dude. It's day 12? Is it day 13? 13. Day 12 or 13. I'm going to give you a quick show around Caris. We've got Woody having a little lie down on Naparuni. He's the cook today, so he's chilling in between the shifts. This is my bed space, and we've been keeping the same bed space all passage. Up in the Four Peaks, everyone's stuff, the asymmetric spinnaker. Out there, you might be able to see the Genoa pulled out. Just got the engine on to get a bit of electricity. We've not really run it for the last 4 or 5 days, so. Out there is Mike keeping a good watch. And this is his bed space, the cat's breath. And then in here, we've got Mike, or Mick. He's having a nice little sleep, which is very good. Out there is the back of the boat. He's fast asleep, I think, which is good. Hydrate's been working flawlessly for the last 12 days. And now, goose wing 1 reef in the main. Yes, Woody, what do we have today?
The famous exercise wraps.
Oh.
Packet noodles.
Packet noodles.
The delicious, most delicious of spams.
Oh, spam. Spam.
Oh, it's so good. All wrapped up in a neat little noodle. It's like it back in Battersea.
It's amazing.
Oh,
Wouldn't know, never went.
Back in Battersea, did you say?
Bathurst, it's a training area in Canada. It's nice sunsets. Very beautiful sky actually. Dead downwind, reef in the main, full Genoa.
8.5 knots.
8.5 knots.
So surging.
Pretty recently we saw what we thought was a shark. Woody saw what he thought was a whale off in the distance, about 100 meters, and when we came up on deck to have a look, about 10 feet away were some very dark, big, sharp, fat fins breaking the surface as we think the shark twisted away from the boat as it came to inspect. So pretty fun, but pretty scary. And now there's a beautiful sunset. We're on a broad reach with 1 reef in the main, 1 in the Genoa. So last morning, and Woody's just come off stag and made me a very nice cup of coffee. And Mick has been up since 2 AM.
I have indeed.
It's now 6.
I've been subjecting poor Woody to a monologue of bollocks.
I've learned a lot.
Woody's learned a lot. Go, look at this. Just over 100 miles to our destination. So we are raising the courtesy flag. We've got the Q flag, the Azores flag, and the Portuguese flag. So Woody, hoist away. So it's day 15. We are 40 miles from our destination and we've had a lovely day on a broad reach, 23 knots to wind, 2 reefs in the main, and actually a full Genoa, because on a broad reach we want to preference the Genoa and not let the main blanket it. Got our flags up there, Portugal over the Azores, over the quarantine flag. See some higher clouds up in the sky. They almost look like lenticular clouds, but they may be a bit high. But we presume that shows the cloud formations over land, over Fayal. So it's quite interesting to see how the cloud forms over the land. We are probably a few hours away from being able to see land. So Mick has got us a very nice bottle of fizzy champagne, tasting delicious. I just want to say to you guys, thank you so much for an amazing 2 weeks, 14 days. Oh, we'll do maths now. And 12 hours, I think it was. 12:30 was 14 days exactly, and it's basically 12:30. It's 12:20 now, boat time.
Sugar blue.
So,
through.
sugar blue, exactly.
Stuck to the inside track.
So well done, Mick, on the day's run, dead reckoning.
I'm not going to gloat about it, Skipper.
Yeah. And well done.
I know how it
well
hurts.
done to us three, Mick, Mike, and myself, for our horse, Sugar Blue, which came in.
Yeah.
And look at this now for our reward. It's a very nice call.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Oh, beauty.
Thank you so much for an amazing 2 weeks. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Well done,
Skipper.
guys. Cheers.
To Karis, guys.
To Karis.
Gareth.
Mm.
Got it. Yeah.
Ching. Ah. Delicious.
I think that expression, it hasn't sunk in yet, but I'm sure it will.
Overall, it was a fantastic crossing, and I really enjoyed being able to spend the time with my friends Mick, Mike, and Woody. In the next episode, we're joined by my friend Ollie and my other good friend Adam. We spend a bit of time exploring the Azores before we set off back to the UK, where we catch an absolute fish of a lifetime.